Do you think this other might work?
It's on the ground.
So if we have all three working, that'd be great.
Test them.
Testing. This one works.
Next.
Testing. This one works.
Good. Next.
I'm so good at turning this on.
Hey, yo!
All right, a little bit there.
Hey! Yeah, 1, 2, 3!
What the fuck?
We'll get you one by the end of the night.
Hold on. I just want everyone to know what I heard. I thought I heard a bunch of people passing gas. I turned around to see one of them holding this. And the other one, this.
2 years in a row I've gotten that.
We have the best people that come to these conventions.
Do you want one really bad?
Are we talking about a flag still or something that rhymes with that?
Alkaline.
What? What the heck? An old woman. I would love an old woman.
You can't see that. They're people now.
Oh dear.
Yep. Oh my God.
I know.
Okay. Absolutely. Or you drink with us. I'm great at drinking. This is going to work out well.
Turned it into a career.
2 minutes. So it's like I turned drinking into a career. Thank you for putting my whole life in perspective.
You're right, it's more like
No, it's all good. I like the look for that. No, they're lobsters. He's got Norway pipes. Tail crabs. Lobster with a mermaid pipe.
It's the lobster shrimp. These off of the lobster shrimp.
Okay, we thought it was mermaid tails.
No, just mermaid tails, and then also lobster shrimp.
See, that's what I said it was.
I saw it wrong. Did you see it wrong?
I wasn't sure what it was, and I wasn't going to ask.
I'm teasing. Now we're both brass over it. Like, I don't know. No, I think it's cute.
You got it, guys.
I think it's really cute.
All right.
Alright, cool. Alright.
make sure to turn it on.
Yeah, that's the part. Okay, how's everyone doing? Yeah. We have a sign language interpreter. Does anyone need said sign language interpreter? Awesome! There's a reason for the season. You don't get to walk away yet.
You are about to get such a weird workout between the three of us. This is going to be interesting.
Hello, I am Chris, the comedy bunny, and I am the fluffer of the three-headed monster. Well, I would say keeper, but they don't come on separately anymore, so I just kind of warm you guys up, so I fluff them up, you know? So they're ready. You're all warmed up. Okay, so it's been a while. How's everyone's pandemic been? That's about right. Did you woo? Well, you work in pharmaceuticals, so probably. Yeah, woo, yeah. That makes sense. I think I like this pandemic has given a lot of people a lot of chances to try a lot of new things. For me, I tried cocaine. Hello. Okay, here's the thing. Calm down. Also, if me if you're a cop. You have to tell me if you're a cop. But anyways, so, not like a while ago, a couple of years ago, I was at his birthday party with a new coworker, and we were having a good time, smoking weed, doing all the normal things, drinking, and my buddy's like, hey, come downstairs, I got something cool. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. And it was like a straight up after school special, because they were like, yeah, and he leaves a bag of what I thought was powdered sugar, and I'm like, that's a stupid thing to think it is. So, turns out it's cocaine. And he was like, you want to do some cocaine? And I was like, well, I mean, like, I kind of do in my head, but I'm like, I don't want to just do cocaine in, like, a roadie's basement. So I kind of made up a little fib, and I was like, well, I sort of promised my friend that we'd do cocaine together for the first time. And he was like, and I'm like, so I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to, like, you know. And he was like, oh, that's beautiful, that's awesome. Here, you know what, I'll hook you up. And he takes out $1, and he just, cuts off a little slice of cocaine cake, and he wraps it up for me. And he's like, here, for you and your buddy, next time you need to. And I was like, neat, that's very kind of you. So then I came home and completely forgot about it for like 2 years. Right? I don't know if cocaine expires. Don't worry. So I'm cleaning up the house because it's like the only thing to do, right? And my girlfriend's with me, and she finds the folded up dollar like behind one of my desks, and she goes, "Hey, what's this folded dollar?" And I'm like, "That's a folded dollar." And she's like, "What's in the folded dollar?" And I go, "It's cocaine," because I'm not very good at lying. And she's like, "Do you do cocaine?" I'm like, "I can't afford cocaine. I was gifted cocaine by a man." And she's like, "Oh, well, all right. I mean, whatever. You do you." And I'm like, "Sweet, I'm the best girlfriend ever." So a little bit more time gets past, and it's like getting later on in the night, and like she goes to bed, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna try cocaine. I mean, the world's like dying. I might as well. I still have some more room to clean. That'll help. So I'm like, okay, so how do I do this? That's right, you gotta cut it up. And I was like, got my coke nail. I cut all my fingernails except for my pinky so I could, you know, like, really did it up. I made a day of it, lit some candles. It was a neat day. So I lay it out, and I'm like, you gotta snort it, right? Oh, I should cut a straw. So I cut a little straw, and I set it up, and I lay it out, and I got it all, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. I took the straw, and I jabbed it in my nose really fast, and I went, oh! And I sneezed, and blew cocaine everywhere. And then I was like, no! All of my cocaine! And then I'm like, whoa, dang it! I was kind of excited at this point. And so I'm like, I didn't, and then before I could even do anything else, my nose starts to bleed because I stabbed myself so hard with the straw, that I just actually ruptured a blood vessel in there. And I was like, oh, come on, I get a nosebleed and I don't even get to do the coke? So legally, I never did cocaine, I just failed to do so. Speaking about my girlfriend, she just got a new job recently, and they were having an all-hands meeting, and it was through Zoom, of course, because the world's dying, and they were talking about a new internal process to help diversify the workplace, right? And it was diversify, inclusion, and equity. And I was like, that spells die. And then I was like, why are they not leaning into the fact that it spells die? Because they could walk on stage and be like, all right, there's too many white people in this building, we need to die. there's too many stairs, not enough ramps. What do we need to do? Die! Does that black man not have a job? Die! It's important to note I'm doing all of this while she's still in a Zoom call. I'm in the back. I'm like, come on, you can die! Die! You can do it! It'd be great! Because then you could shock all the old white guys. Because then you just walk out like, you need to die! And they'd be like, heavens! And then they'd be like, I mean, diversify. And they'd be like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, my money can save me. Oh. Well, that's the weird thing about white people. I mean, that's not really a joke. That's the weird thing about white people. There's a lot of well-meaning white people. Because they don't want to be part of the bad-meaning white people. And I noticed an example of that in myself when I was like really stoned and hungry one day. And I was like, man, I want a meatball sub. So, yeah, don't, stay with me. I know, it's complicated. So I want a meatball sub. And I'm like, I don't have money for a meatball sub because I'm still poor. And I'm like, well, I got the shit to make a meatball sub, kinda. So, I go into my freezer, I pull out some vegan meatballs, and then I pull out some hot dog buns, and I pull out some tomato sauce. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, basically. And so, boom, 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, okay, well, like, alright, I'll microwave it, because I'm lazy. And so then I do. And it's warm, and it's limp, and it's really sad, but like it has like a fun middle school vibe. Because it's like a personal mini meatball sub. And it's like, oh, this is like fun and rubbery. And then I had a brain blast. Because I realized, oh, that's what white people do. We take other people's culture and microwave it. Awesome. So, it sounds like this is officially warmed up. I would like to welcome to the stage 3 professional white people. Zan, Alkali, and Pandas. Also, they're just here. Pretend there's a stage. Or you can stand on this if you want to try.
No, we do not.
Now you clap. You clap now. There you go. You got it. You did it.
Let's hear it one more time for Chris the Comedy Bunny!
To be fair, he barely qualifies white people. If you're Jewish, I'm trans, and Des is Canadian, so.
I just want to bring up really fast that right before the show, we're getting all the information from Bandaz. It's like, hey, the sign language interpreters are here. Do we need them? Should we send them away? And I said, oh, hell yeah, because Roxo the Comedy Bunny is opening for us over here, talking about the cloud of white. Thank you, guys.
I failed to do cocaine.
I appreciate your failure. A huge round of applause for people who did not know what they were getting into.
Also, if you are hearing impaired and you want to come up to the front, there's some spaces up here for any of our hearing impaired people. Come on up.
If you're just trying to avoid eye contact with us, we understand. It gets violent. Thank you. They keep flashing me their fans.
The fans talk.
The fans do talk. So here's a question that they're not going to want to be asked after this one. Hey, how was your 2020?
Oh boy. Oh, 2020 for me. So it started off bleak. Like when the pandemic hit, I am a per diem pharmacist, so basically that's a substitute teacher for drugs. So basically somebody is sick, somebody is on vacation, they call me in, I cover. When everything happened in 2020, no one was taking vacation. No one dared call out sick. I had 2 shifts between February and April. It was rough. But I got to enjoy a lot of TV.
Oh, what were you watching?
Star Trek.
Yes!
One of my favorite things was there was a channel that was showing Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, back to back to back. And I got to watch them back to back to back every day. And I realized it kind of seems like they're the before, the during, and the after of an exceedingly traumatic event. No, seriously, you start off with Next Generation, right? Hello. Welcome to the Enterprise. We are the technological wunderkind of the Federation. We have the best of the best technology. We are a ship so pretentious, we have a British man pretending to be French as our captain. Come join our senior staff as they put on theatrical productions, perhaps Cyrano de Bergerac or the Bard himself, Shakespeare. Come to 10 Forward, where you can lounge in comfortable chairs. Play 3-dimensional chess. Maybe we'll put on a rendition of Brahms or Mozart. Ah, yes. We are the Enterprise. And you're welcome. Then you slide on over into Deep Space Nine. Hi, welcome to Deep Space Babylon 5. We are the first Star Trek to have a person of color at the helm. All right. We had the white man as Captain Kirk. We had the white man as Captain Picard. And now we've got the black man as Commander Sisko. But it's okay. They promoted me to captain like halfway through the 3rd season. So like I was captain for like 3/5 of the time I was on Star Trek. And that math adds up. Look it up. Because when Star Trek says equality, they mean equality.
It's a compromise.
Have the best technology here. We have like an old 20-something-year-old space station made by the Cardassians. So basically, if Next Gen is a 2021 Lamborghini, Deep Space Nine's like a 95 pickup truck from Russia. And you'd think, hey, we're gonna have like the best possible engineer we can have, like Scotty from Star Trek 4 equivalent, right? Nope, the Uber driver from that ship. You're on the planet. You're back on the ship. I seriously think Captain Picard was drinking his tea with a little something extra in it. You know who deserves a promotion? That man, O'Leary, O'Donnell, O'Brien, he deserves 1 level of promotion. Beep, beep, oops, 11 levels of promotion. I'm sure he'll do fine. Do we have a 10 Forward with comfortable chairs? Nope. We have Quark's Casino and Bar. Whores and gambling, right across from the local church. Oops. And you might be thinking, a church, how often could religion possibly come up in a science fiction show? Well, I'm Space Jesus. And then you slide on into Voyager. Hi. We're Voyager. We lost half our crew in the first episode. But it's okay, because there's these other guys that came onto our crew that hate us. But it's fine. It's fine. We're trapped like 80 years from home. I mean, we've got one of the best, most high-tech ships in the fleet, but we're 80 years from home, so if anything breaks, we can't fix it. but it's fine. Like, we have these bio-neural gel packs, which, like, are so cool, and the ship nearly died from cheese. This literally is an episode. The ship nearly died from cheese. But it's fine. Everything's fine. I mean, that's our head chef. He's an alien, so he doesn't know anything about human cuisine. But that's fine. That's perfectly fine. He's dating a 1-year-old. But it's okay, because that species lives to the age of 9. So if 9 is 90, then 1 is 10. That's fine. Everything is fine. Our doctor died, so we have a hologram that yells at us, but it's fine. We're Voyager. We're fine. So yeah. That was my 2020.
Awesome. I love how in the show, the Federation kind of goes with how America was feeling. Like, the base level, like, everything's fine. Then it goes to, everything's good. Then it's, everything's on fire. That was the base level for Voyager, so.
Oh my God.
Good time.
I genuinely love that show. And that show is all about, next gen. Equality was key. You don't have security going around and stopping random people on the street for taking a walk at 3 in the morning in a robe.
Except for me.
Zan?
Yeah, so recently I had an encounter with the police, and I usually that doesn't usually happen to me, so this was interesting. And well, we normally go on walks. It's just a thing we do at 3 a.m. or post midnight.
It's when I get home from work.
We have our little midnight pride walk. It's the 3 of us. We're all in robes. They're colorful. Everybody knows. Because it's us.
It's our neighborhood pride parade, and we love it.
Yeah, it's
It
love.
happens at 3 a.m. and it smells like weed.
And we say hi to all the bunnies and coyotes that are hunting the bunnies. It's a thing. Don't ask. The Chicago suburbs are weird. Graveyard yotes, you know what's up, yeah. So this is the thing we usually do, but I wanted to go for a walk. I think Alfly was out at the time. Our roommate was out at the time. But, I wanted to go out for a walk. So I'm out, and I'm close to my house and whatever, and up strolls a cop, and he's just like, "Hey, buddy." Yeah.
Nope.
You're wearing a robe? You okay? Yeah. Well, you're wearing a robe. I know. Do you live nearby? Actual question, yes. Yeah, right over there. Okay, I'll see you. I'm like, he turned Canadian. It was weird. But I guess, and then he just went on by. And I was a wee bit high. So thank God I wasn't more high. Wee bit high.
That's the size of a cartridge.
So now I'm just thinking, thank God I wasn't yay high, or I'd be in the back of that cop car right now. Like, what kind of answers would I give? Because I get weird. I get kind of mad when I get high sometimes, because the emotions just kind of come out. He knows what I'm talking about. So he would pull like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing in a robe?" "What? You're wearing a robe?" "Yeah? Well, it's not normal." It's like, what? It's people are scared and stuff. What? If I go out and people see me in a robe, they just think I'm on their cult and having a good time, give you Kool-Aid. People see you, they think they might die. So I think I'm less scary right now. Especially at 3 a.m. Like, you see me, I might give you some, if you go up to me, I might give you a quest or just... Get it? Yeah. And plus, buddy, I was wearing my hood. There's no way you could tell what gender I was from behind. You're just assuming shit already. But anyway, and I was like, and he's asking, "Well, do you live nearby?" I just want to be like, "I own this town." is just a weird question.
You are walking around at 3 a.m. in your bright purple robe with puffs of smoke coming. You do own that town. They're in bed. Take over, baby.
So apparently, yeah, the only reason I wasn't arrested because I was too lazy with the grinder, I guess. I don't know.
That's actually really lucky because there are some nights we've just given up. You know, they legalized marijuana in Chicago. We were oh so happy because I am not the biggest fan of oils and stuff like that. They're just too much and I don't enjoy them as much, but we would walk and have a little pen. But sometimes we were already a little out of it and we're walking down the street with a giant ass volcano bag. At one point I'm like, can we just put a garbage bag over this thing and fill the whole, like going down the road like evil Santa? Yeah! Don't worry, kids! Your parents are getting a divorce!
If you just produce a magic bag from your road, you just look like a gay wizard. It's fine.
Bag of home coins. Nothing! I said nothing!
Anyway. Oh, jeez.
As you can tell, we've had incidents with the law. I myself had an encounter, we'll call it. But you know, a lot of our stories about police involve weed, but here's another story about police and weed. My buddy...
That's my album.
That's my album, Police and Weed. It went platinum. It went green.
Dropping next year. 5 to 10.
It's dropping a dab next year. So, I was asked by a friend to DJ his wife's mother's second wedding. Like, we just want a small thing. We don't want to go to bed. Could you bring the sound equipment from First Squared and DJ a wedding? And I said, yes, knowing they had no idea what the sound equipment from First Squared was. We were in a hall twice the size of this room with speakers designed to entertain 10,000 people at a country club that was not shut down. We were waiting for people to put on 18, and we would just play Baby's Got Back as loud as we could. It was a wonderful evening. I had a lot of fun. We did our thing, but as the night wound down, I realized that the last thing I wanted to do was have this much fun, continue to have that fun, sleep 2.5 hours from my house, go home and go to work. So I realized about 10 o'clock it's time to sober up. So I do so. I start packing up at midnight, and at 2 a.m. I am finally in my car, and I am drained. I am exhausted. I am looking at the pill bottle inside my glove compartment with 3 beautiful joints going, that'll keep me awake for half an hour. I got 2.5 hours. I'll die somewhere in Midlothian. That's not bad. I get on the road, and I'm going down I-90. I-90, for those of you who are not from here, has 2 things on it. 1 tree off to the side, and just barrels of cocaine blowing across the highway. It is just nothing. It is Chicago weather, which is cocaine, and nothing. And I'm just going. And when you go, you know, if you've seen me before, you know the school bus. If you're just driving, and there's nothing, you zone out. And I did. And when you zone out, I was awake, I was sober, but not enough to not be a little swervy. And I should have pulled over. By the way, public service announcement, don't drive tired. It was really stupid that I did this, and I'm actually grateful I got pulled over. It was dumb. But I wasn't grateful at the time I got pulled over! Because I was tired and wanted to go home. Well, they knocked me over to the side, I pull onto the shoulder, big cop face in my car, and like, sir, do you know why I pulled you over? Like, it is 3 in the morning. I don't even know if you're a cop. You were swerving a little bit there, sir. I'm like, yeah, and I explained the situation. Wedding, DJ, want to go home. He's like, all right. Well, can I see your license and registration? I reach over my glove compartment, and out falls an unlabeled pill bottle. The gentleman at my window goes, sir, do you want to tell me what that is? And I go, yes, I do. That's my weed. He's got me. Why would you lie? All right. By the way, I should lie.
Didn't you say that's not mine or anything?
No, the worst part is, I told this story once in front of Boozy. He said, "You're a fucking idiot." And then explained to me what I should have done. And I went, "That seems amazing. I didn't know you could do that." Well, the cop sees this happen. He's like, "All right, sir, why don't you sit here for a minute? Give me that license, registration, and that pill bottle." I'm like, "Absolutely." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh my God, this is it. They got me. I am going to jail. I am losing my driver's license, and all I do is drive to conventions. This is like everything that I do to calm down after my job, and I'm about to lose it. And I am terrified. I am shaking. I am sweating. I put on Ben Folds on my radio to calm down. It's very calming. You don't know me. You don't know me. Love that song. Comes back, tosses my shit past me into the passenger seat. He goes, "Son, you're very tired. You need to pull over right here on this off-ramp. I want you to get some sleep before you go home." He's like, "Yes, sir, officer! I don't hate you right now! Thanks for not shooting me!" And I go. And I get to a parking lot, and I'm so grateful. And if you've ever witnessed true relief, I cannot begin to describe to you what the furry fandom means to me, what it means to me to be able to do all these conventions. And that would have really put a hamper on that. And all of a sudden, in the same 10-minute span, I had lost it all and got it all back. The relief was palpable. It washed over me like a wave. I got to that parking lot and all like, I could sleep in my car for all I care. I need to relax, so I reach over and I grab my pill bottle and look at my 2 joints. Sometimes they're human.
Sounds like you was ahead of the curve, huh?
And then they legalized it like a year later, so that was nice. Oh my God. So, we've been doing this for a little while as a group. By the way, thank you so much for joining us, Des. And one of the other heads of the 300 Months you all met opening for us. Thank you so much for that. So it was wonderful. I wanted to ask if either of you can answer. Let's talk about, because we've all had it, I know we've all had it. Have you ever bombed?
Oh boy.
Sammy?
Yes, I can talk about. Let me tell you about the first time I bombed. It wasn't on stage, I just mean in general. You'll understand in a second. So, in terms of telling a joke, I am old, and so just to give you an idea, in 1988, I was a kid, and we were on vacation in Florida to witness the I believe it was the launch of the Discovery, and we were in Florida, and we were of course doing all the rides and stuff, but we wanted to see, we're there, might as well see a rocket go up, right? And so we're there, we check out all the NASA stuff and whatnot, and so for those who don't know, this was a big deal because this is the launch after the Challenger exploded. Yeah, so we're sitting there in a field with a bunch of other proud Americans, and we watch the launch, and it's going up, and it's great, and I'm on my dad's shoulders, and we're all watching, everyone's clapping away, and the claps die down, and it goes, "Oh, it's exploding again!" Gasp! All around us, like a circle of people just, I'd never experienced that before. And then my dad just said, "That is not funny, that is not funny." Just, and just like, I get down on my feet and I just like, and they just kind of like run me out like through the crowd. That wasn't good, was it? So.
And then you chose a career as a stand-up comedian.
It took me a while to get back on stage. It took this fucker to like drag me up. Like, let me tell you about the last joke I told.
I didn't drag, I kicked you.
Oh. So there was a punchline to that, but I forgot it because I'm all like, no. No. Oh fuck. But yeah, so. Oh my God, I don't have my notes. I forget, to let you know, I forgot my notes too. I have my notes in my fanny pack. with all my shit, with all my tags, and of course, I forget that as well in our room too. This is supposed to solve shit, because if you don't know, when you're trans, and especially trans femme, girls' pants don't have fucking pockets, so this is supposed to solve that shit. Yeah.
They were complaining to me in the garage one night about having feminine pants with no pockets. And I said, just get a fanny pack. And they go, I'm not going to wear a fanny pack. And I said, you were pulled over wearing a robe at 3 in the morning. You don't care.
So, I have to tell you, there was a bit of a karma for what I did. That's the thing. Like, the fun part was I also had to go to the bathroom at the time. I was waiting, baby, that's why I was bitter. It was bitter to have to wait for this launch to happen if you wanted to go to the bathroom. I don't know.
You were on your dad's neck, the comedy road itself. Just go, man.
So we couldn't go to the porta parties. They could see us there. Like they might get Mike Tyson and Rocky and just beat me up for America. I don't know. Like it was really tense there. If you saw Rocky 4, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it was a time.
Oh my God!
You can't read your own writing.
I can't, dude. My handwriting is atrocious. Also, I forgot paper, so I wrote it on the back of a 2017 staff guide. Allow me to read you the emergency procedures in 2017. If a pandemic happens, be smart. No one has ever read this book. Yeah, in 2017 we had a ton of stuff about the pandemic in here. Just pages.
Talk to multiple members of staff. That's one hell of a
Pandas.
It was a hell of a
How's your con going?
So today's actually been fairly relaxing. Like this is my first panel of the day. Like there were a couple I was going to go to, and then I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to see people I haven't seen in like 2 years. I played a lot of Pokemon Go today.
As you should.
But yesterday was actually the interesting day. Yesterday was... So, we were supposed to go at like 11 in the morning yesterday. But Magic, my boyfriend, which by the way, Magic, if you're seeing this, I don't know, there's a camera over there. Magic, happy 5-year anniversary this weekend. So he's in charge of the loading dock at the Meijer near us. It's like a grocery store for those of you who don't know what Meijer is. And they wouldn't let him out. They're like, no, we need you for receiving that day. You know, we need you to take care of this. And I have no idea how somebody this moronic could be delivering stuff. Like, he had all these trucks lined up, and this one guy was like, hey, I just have one quick item. Can I just offload it super quick? Magic's like, okay, sure, we'll get you in and out real quick. Gets there, what do you have? Oh, I don't know, I haven't opened the truck yet. Oh, I haven't looked at anything inside there yet. It was the dairy guy with all the milk. He had no idea what he was dropping off. He hadn't even looked, but he was just like, I need to get in. They opened the door. The milk had not been secured. There was about a 1/4 inch of milk along the entire bottom of that truck. And Magic's like, oh, so let me grab some people to clean your truck up now, thanks. And while he's off trying to get some people to help clean that up, the guy's like, okay, well I guess I'll lower the docking plate so I can start loading up the milk. On top of a pallet of milk. Imagine, if you will, it is December 1st. And every furry at this convention who has been partaking in, I will call it No Legume November to keep the rating, has decided it is December 1st and we are going to enjoy our salty snacks now. And all of them arrived at the Meijer at once. Sploosh! Magic walks back and just sees the docking plate having crushed an entire pallet of milk. And just goes, beep. And we're going to be late leaving.
It does. Everybody come surfing.
Hang 10. Whoa. And then we finally leave. We're a little late leaving, and we're like, 'cause if we left at the right time, we would have gotten here at like 3, which before 3 o'clock is good time to get here. 5 o'clock is bad time to get here. We at one point had the first 3/4 of the drive is basically west across Michigan.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 hours of straight line into the sun. Seriously, I wanted to just put driving into the sun on loop. And it's like, I'm driving. But then there's that last little hour where it's like, under there and Chicago. Yay! No. As soon as we got to the end of, I pulled up my Garmin and I was like, what's my expected time? 4 hours flat, traffic is clear. Fantastic. Turn it off. Plug it in when we get to the other side of Michigan. Boop. What's our expected ETA? 4 more hours. You have a ton of delays. There are question number mark of accidents causing you to go, oh no. So I'm like, all right, do we want a detour? Okay, we can save 40 minutes on this 3-hour delay by going this way. Why not?
It's been happening.
And we went through the weirdest, labyrinth of little roads in southern Chicago.
Oh, I know where you were. Absolutely.
Oh, do you know the Snack Shack, open 24 hours, closed permanently? That's one of the businesses we walked by, and I went, if I were driving, I would have taken a picture of that. But we were on all these tiny little side roads. At one point, we were on a 4-lane road, and I was turning left. And I'm looking at this road I'm turning left onto, and it's clearly a 2-lane road with a line of vehicles facing that way, and a line of vehicles facing this way, and just enough room for one vehicle to fit in between them. And it's like half a mile long. So I'm like, well, if I turn left, I'm going to the end whether or not anyone else is turning, so let's see what happens. And as I'm sitting there, waiting, left clicker's on, I'm at a full stop, my brakes are on, all of a sudden, and I look to my right, and red and white stuff is just flying past my passenger window. I'm like, what the hell was that? Magic looks, he's like, you just got hit. I'm like, what? He's like, I think you just got hit. So we made the turn, and I immediately pulled over in the 3 feet of space before the road started. And I got out, he was going by me at least 40 miles an hour, and had come so close, his side view mirror had hit my right rear taillight. Did no damage to the vehicle, but the actual plastic cover shattered.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, well, this is fortuitous that it only hit this plastic plate. This cost me maybe $10 to replace. But if he'd been a millimeter to the left, my light would have been shattered. I'm just hoping, because obviously the guy's a D-bag, that his side view mirror is doing this right now.
Absolutely.
But it's so ironic because literally a week ago my car was in there because my light had gone out and they fixed it. I was like, I should go back and be like, so are you sure you attached it right? But no, because they fixed the light on the left side, so that won't work. But still, that was yesterday. And then, to top it all off, I pulled a tiller. Now, for those of you, Tiller is a fantastic individual, and he tweeted yesterday morning a video of him at the hotel in the shower. Not in the shower, but he had the handle, and he was like, turning to the right, look at the shower head, turn to the left, look at the shower head, no water coming out. And he's like, oh neat, the shower's not working. Someone replied to it, does it pull out? And he replied, oh, I am so dumb. When I got to the hotel, we were unpacking our groceries, and I see the cabinet where the little fridge normally is. So I open it, and I see a very dark cabinet, and I see a refrigerator and shelves, and it's black, and I can see the shelves, and I'm like, they gave us a fridge with no door. How useless. Oh, well. And Magic looks at me and goes, Isn't that a glass door? He reaches down with one finger and the light in the fridge goes on as it clearly is working with a glass door. So of course I replied to Tiller, I just pulled a Tiller with this story. And he's like, I love/hate this. I'm not the only one.
What the fuck?
Amazing.
I gotta say, you had started this off with it's your 5-year anniversary. Huh? So I need to make fun of this one a little bit. No, for all good reasons, because like I've told you before, I never thought in a million years I would ever share my house with anyone, and I found something very special in my mate Zanny, to the point where, a few months ago, we're in the garage, and my phone buzzes, and I pull it out of my pocket, and as I'm pulling out my phone, they are reaching for the second to last joint of the night. Light it, I look at my phone and go, oh, happy 12-year anniversary.
Yep.
Without missing a beat, they continue to light the joint. Ditto. We did absolutely nothing, and we couldn't have been happier. I love you.
Yay, that's right. We're like, oh, drop that ball.
The worst part is our roommate Miko. If you remember, Miko's been on a few of our shows. Just sitting there, just what the fuck? We're like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, no. I'm envious. That would have been a fight in any other house. They go, I'm high, I'm not gonna fight. Make love, not war. Wanna fuck? Come on in.
So 12 years is a joint and a high five. That's
Joint and a high five anniversary.
That requires way too much long-term memory. We're high all the time, so it doesn't work.
I brought them home flowers once before. They started off with, those are gonna die. Fair enough. They died almost immediately. We didn't put them in water. We threw them in the sink. Does this work? No. I grow weed, not daffodils. It's actually very wonderful. We get to spend a lot of time with our friends, and actually we just came back from my Friendsgiving, a tradition in our household for years and years and years. And this Friendsgiving was very spectacular because our friend's wife got a new pair of socks.
Yes, she did.
They're the best socks.
They are the best socks. Let me tell you about them. Yeah, our friend she's amazing. She really makes me appreciate unintentional comedy. She got it down pat. It's amazing. Can we talk about the road trip thing too? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, just to let you know, I've been really getting into when things get funny by mistake. And I think it really hit it home for me recently. I have an Apple phone, whatever, and it does this thing where it gives you a highlight reel without you asking, and we have a highlight reel for you. Do you want to check it out? Sure. Let's look at the year in review. Yeah, I didn't know what was getting those photos and videos from, so I had just lots and lots of special happy moments with. This interspersed with porn. It was just nice piano music, just it was perfect timing, and I didn't know how it did it. It was automated comedic genius that they didn't even know they did it. So
computers
good job.
will be stand-up comedians. Apple proved it.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars, self-writing jokes. Fuck it.
And I swear to God, I took pictures of people's lawns during Halloween. At the end, it showed us and then skeletons on a porch. At the end. Wow. Yeah, it was a bad year. Thanks, Apple. Okay. So, anyway.
The algorithm knows.
So, our friend, she's amazing, and we were on a road trip, and we were going to visit a little, what's it called?
Dutch.
village, right? You go, oh, this will be so nice. We'll go visit them. We'll go see the simpletons. Real simpletons?
Diane!
God, that's really mean. And she's like, no, what? They're really simple. They're simpletons. Like, that is not what that means.
They live the simple life! So now she's in the front seat on her phone, Googling the word simpleton and slowly getting quieter and quieter. Until we reach a Timmy Hortons and she just looks over and goes, I need some hose. Okay, done.
So fast forward, right, to Friendsgiving. And with things like that in mind, so she's got these cute little socks on with gingerbread on them. Gingerbread men. Or gingerbread people. Let's be fair. Gingerbread people on her socks. And she's like, oh, look at my cute little socks. It's got the gingerbread men and stuff. It says, let's get bread. Me and Alkali look at each other. We lock eyes. What did they say?
Big, bold, puffy letters. Let's get
bread. And then we look at our roommate, like, let's get bread? And she's like, yeah, let's get bread. I'm like, I like getting bread. I like to get bread. You like getting bread? We go, oh, we all love getting bread. And so we're like, did our friend just get the kinkiest socks ever and not know it? Like,
it doesn't matter how it's spelled. Sooner or later, someone will say it out loud. Like us, about 40 times. So I pull aside her husband, my very good friend, John the Human, and I tell him, hey, just so you know, the reason we can't keep it together is this is what those socks mean. Do you want to tell your wife? And he looks at me with dead, married for 15-year eyes and says, fuck no. Pretty sure she wore those socks to the hospital the next day, and I just pray it made some gay guy's day.
So gingerbread socks, very cute.
Gingerbread socks are so cute. Coming back up to the stage one last time to finish off the act for us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the fourth out of the three concert, Chris the Comedy Buddy!
It's Comedy Hydra now, baby.
Comedy Hydra.
You cut one head off, more grow. That's not even it. I just described a Hydra. And then also, I want to say genderbread. You missed genderbread, and I meant.
Oh, genderbread! Whoa, the genderbread
cool.
person.
Genderbread person.
That's fair. I didn't see that holiday special.
Also, your friend reminds me of an old coworker I used to have. His name was Rex. And that fucker that fucker got stuff right about 80%. That's it. Everything he said was like 80%.
Just 80% of the time was real English, or?
So you're like, did they mean to say what they just said, or
yeah.
Well,
Some of the more common ones were like, well, that's parts for the horse. Instead of part for the course, that's parts for the horse. What fucking horse are you building?
My father has a great one. He'll use this on us all the time. Hey, if you get a wild hair up your ass, why don't you mow the lawn? I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? A wild hair. He goes, oh, it's an old Italian saying. I really don't think it is.
I guess it loses something in translation?
I guess so.
You gotta tame those fuckers.
Yeah. Another one of my personal favorites was You know, the problem is schools are doctrinating people. They're doctrinating all them kids into thinking liberally. I'm like, doctrinating? What the hell? Indoctrinating, you fucking ignorant piece of shit.
Was he talking about the vaccine? Doctrinate? Is that what's the
doctrinating? I'm gonna doctrinate you tonight.
That's just been stabbing people.
Yeah, indoctrinating people.
Oh yeah, I get to stab about 100 people a day.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For good.
For once, me putting a tiny object inside another person is making them happy.
So, we've been doing the three-headed monster or variations of for a while now, and because of this panel and others that I get to run, I was actually invited recently to a convention called Youmacon. Oh yeah, no, I was invited to Youmacon years ago as a guest, and some of you know that story. Rich Fucking Furries, a bit that I did years ago, came from Youmacon, and they brought me back. I don't know why. They didn't bring me back as a guest this time. This time I came in as the MC for their main events, replacing John St. John, the voice of Duke Nukem. So again,
They traded a weird down? Is that down?
yeah, sure.
Like a lateral down?
That's definitely lateral down.
Yeah.
So basically, I had to ask him. So I met the con chair. I'm like, dude, this was so wonderful. I'm so glad you did this. Like, what made you pick me? He's like, well, a few people recommended you, and we saw a bunch of your stand-up. I went, oh, you saw a bunch of my stand-up? He's like, oh yeah, you're so fucking weird. We figured this would be normal for you. I've never been so proud in my life. So they're invited. It's a great time. I get to hang out at this anime convention. It is so different from a furry convention. In a furry convention, opening and closing ceremonies, those are events. See the convention open. What's going to happen this weekend? The camaraderie of the furries. Over there, their opening ceremonies went thusly. I am the MC, and I am standing in an empty room meant to seat over 1,000 people. AV is over there giving me a thumbs up. I walk over to them and say, hey, what should I do? And they said, fuck if I know. The con chairman forgot about opening ceremonies. The guest liaison forgot about opening ceremonies, but did not forget to give all the guests for the convention 50 professional voice actors, 50 professional YouTubers, people that everyone knows, are randomly wandering around in this room like zombies, like, what do we do now? And I'm the lead zombie going, I have no goddamn clue. Till 5 minutes before the event when I literally realized we're not getting help. Fur, the amazingly talented Fur. Oh, I love the man. I go to like, I need your help. He goes, you need more than that. And for an hour, myself on stage, my co-host and Fur are literally running notes back and forth to each other with whoever the fuck we want to introduce. And they're wandering on the stage like, should I talk? We're like, we don't know. And the audience is growing. Look, we started off in a room for 1,000 people with maybe 100 asses in chairs. We're halfway through opening. That crowd has doubled. More people are spilling in. Why? Because they've never had comedy at the opening ceremonies, and I would love to say I went up there and I gave them the full alkali. I would love to say I added surrealism into their... No! We were so goddamn stressed out! We lost microphones! My co-host rolled his ankle! We unplugged one of the giant-ass monitors, which could not be fixed! One of the spotlights just decided to do this!
That sounds like the full alkali.
This is the full alcohol.
And as we're finishing closing ceremonies, as we're finishing the monitor for our script that should have been on the whole time kicked on because they had everything going an hour late. So they did not have our panel set up, and the first thing it said was, introduce the chair. And I told this to the audience, walked off stage, took one of these, and I just fucking threw it. And I knew, all right, it's been flubbed. It was a really good time. I'm so glad they invited me. I'll never get to do that again. The next day, their con chairman came up to me and said, that was the funniest fucking opening ceremonies I've ever seen. And I was touched until I realized something like, wait a minute. When did you see opening ceremony? She goes, I was in the audience the whole time. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, sounds like it worked out.
It worked out really well.
And the immortal words of my friend Rex, even a broken clock is right once in a while. I looked at him and said, it's twice, you son of a bitch.
It's like, could be 3.
Never.
All right.
That digital clock is always right. It's always flashing 12.
Oh my God, we have every clock in our house on one breaker, so we have to deal with that all the time. They all flash 0 all the time.
You need to understand, my house was a foreclosure. We literally had squatters living in our garage for a year before we moved in. It is awesome. Also, it's haunted, so that's fun too.
Ghost squatters.
Yeah, really good squatters. When we came in, there were soffits in the kitchen that I was going to take out. So I'd go in there, I put a hole in them, I'm going to rip it out, and inside, totally naked, a cord going back and forth and back. Like, what? I start pulling this out. It is a dumpster full of cord. They had run phone lines, obviously bought a spool. They were running some kind of phone racket out of the house. There were 3 to 4 phone jacks in every room. And in this soffit was the remainder of a spool of phone cord that they just fucking shoved in there. Everything in this house is makeshift, including the entire kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, half the bedroom, and the office are on one breaker. So they're microwaving a coffee. I'm in VR. All of a sudden, I think I'm having a stroke because everything is going weird. And they're angry because their hand isn't warm.
That's right. Gotta heat the coffee. Come
Gotta
on.
eat the coffee.
Anyway.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
Oh shit.
Because I think
I got a closing joke. If
Do it.
Go ahead.
dogs do everything doggy style.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the three-headed monster! The number one secret to everybody! Jordan Ward Pandan! The creator of the Dragon Show, the love of my life, Sandy the Bloom! My name is Alpha. I enjoy the convention and good night!
Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.